This is the Wheatley Vodka Rampage at Remington, presented by Tecate Light. We are at the beautiful Remington Park Casino and Racing here in Oklahoma City. We already have one fighter in the cage, Christopher Matlock, on his way. This is an amateur bout, three-minute rounds. Deslond Freeman is already in. He's making his debut in the cage tonight, and on his way is Christopher Ryan Matlock from Meade, Oklahoma, undefeated in the cage with an amateur record of 1-0. He's having his second fight tonight. Joining us cage side, Mikhail Valentin, our matchmaker for this evening. What should we expect from these two guys?
This is another interesting one. So actually Deslond, he's a teammate of Hani Kim who just fought. So I would expect some similar training styles and backgrounds. Same coach, same everything. Ryan Matlock fought for us before. He's a raw kid, but I know he's developed because I know who he trains with. Same thing, he trains with Chris Mullins and Eddie Brown that are later on this card. Ryan's a guy, good stand-up, but also he showcased his wrestling last fight. He actually mounted the guy, finished him pretty quickly. So if we're basing it on the last fight, which is hard to tell with young amateurs, then sure, Ryan might try to take it to the ground. But I do know that both of these guys train everything and they're very well-rounded for amateurs.
Well, we had a spectacular amateur bout to kick off the evening. We are going to continue the action. Now that both fighters are in the cage, let's send it up to the smooth Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here tonight at Remington Park. This is an amateur bout scheduled for three-minute rounds, proudly brought to you by Hustler Hollywood. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 146 pounds in his debut amateur fight, a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, from Arlington, Texas, Deslond Freeman. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 145 pounds. He comes tonight with an undefeated record of 1 win with no defeat from Meade, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Matlock.
Ryan, yes.
Here we go, round one of this three-round amateur fight. Deslond Freeman fighting out of the blue corner, taking on Ryan Matlock. Ryan Matlock is 1-0, but look at Deslond Freeman slide right in with the shoot. That is the wrestling background. And what a vicious takedown of Matlock. Joining us cage side, Mikhail Valentin. Mikhail, are you surprised to see this much action this early?
No, not at all. But I am surprised to see the back and forth transitions. Like the fact that these guys have such good transitions and know how to reverse this young in their career. That was pretty exciting. That takedown was deep. Then Matlock reversed him, and then he used an ankle pick and rolled him all the way back over. So that was pretty neat. And look at this. Might be our first quick fight.
All great fights have an ebb and flow, but this one seems to be crashing on the shore as that rear naked choke is sunk in deep. It looks like it's under the chin. I don't have the right angle. Can you see?
It was not under the chin. No. Matlock did a good job pulling himself to the side and fighting his hands, and that's the defense, is you got to get to one side, fight the hands. And for Deslond, he needs to flatten him out and get him more straight towards his stomach, like flat against his back. And Ryan, I can't tell from here either, but it looks like he's doing the same thing and doing a really good job getting towards that armpit and fighting those hands. And he reverses.
And here's another reversal. Both these guys showing off their wrestling foundations. Both of them excellent on the ground. Quite a switch from the last fight we saw that was almost entirely fought on their feet. This one almost exclusively on the ground. Very few punches thrown. But just as I say that, here they come up to their feet. Who do you think got the better of that exchange on the ground, Mikhail?
That was as even as it gets, but what I will say is that Matlock ended on top, but I'll give it to Deslond. That was an incredible ability or a job to stand up. So I don't know. But on the feet, I do think Deslond looks better. Oh, maybe not.
Well, Matlock already showing a little bit of swelling underneath his left eye. He caught a right hand in that last exchange. And I think we weren't at a great angle to see what was happening on the ground, but I think he caught a shot or two there as well. Oh, and another vicious takedown as Deslond Freeman slams Ryan Matlock down to the cage. Deslond Freeman now in top position. Matlock, even though he has one amateur bout versus Freeman 0, Deslond appears to be largely in control of this fight, Mikhail.
He does. He looks a little more skilled, a lot stronger, honestly. He does look stronger. His takedowns are very impressive. He scoops and slams them every time, and he's doing a really good job controlling him against the cage. Every time they start trading, instead of staying there, Deslond does the smart thing.
Yeah, this has been a spectacular first round. Round 2 coming up. This is round 2 of this 3-round amateur bout. We have Deslond Freeman fighting out of the blue corner, taking on Ryan Matlock out of the red corner. For the viewer, this can be tricky because both fighters actually kind of look alike. They're built alike and they have similar looking trunks. But this has been back and forth action throughout round 1, and they go straight to the ground here again in round 2. Mikhail Valentin, ringside, or cage side rather. Mikhail, how did you score round 1?
I do think that Ryan Matlock lost the round. I think that Deslond Freeman controlled the round. He did everything just a little better. He was stronger. Just like right now he's showcasing it. Like, Matlock is game everywhere. He's very tough, but Freeman just seems to have the better skill and the sharper punches, and he's a lot more explosive.
And here we go again, once again. Oh, and he has it deep underneath the chin. But just as I say that, it looks like Matlock is going to pull his way out as Freeman is constricting that hold of the rear naked choke, but he lost it again. Miguel, were you surprised Matlock was able to get out of that?
That was actually tough, yeah, because he looked dead to rights for a second, but he did a good job again. He tucked his chin, he started moving to the side and fighting the hands and fought it off. This is an incredible fight.
It really is. For an amateur bout, these guys showing a tremendous amount of skill and, frankly, a lot of heart. Both of them are taking hard shots, and these have been exhausting rounds for these guys.
Yep, that's another thing is, like, they're tired, but they do look like they're still oh, that elbow! That looked like an elbow. Was that an elbow or a punch?
They were directly above me, so I couldn't see the shot
coming. If that was an elbow, you're not allowed to throw elbows. It just looked so short, it might have been a shorter punch.
Another left hook! Matlock landing a series of left hooks flush to the jaw of Deslond Freeman. Freeman smartly taking it to the ground. But holy cow, what a chin on that kid. He was taking hook after hook, full bore from Matlock, and took it like a champ.
Yeah, man, one of the things I said earlier, and I might take back here, but I don't know if it's because they're tired. At first, it looked Deslond had better hands to me, but Matlock's starting to come on, and he's landing while Freeman is not. But Freeman pulled a veteran move there. He was very smart, and he took him to the ground, like you said, because there was no reason he should have been in that exchange.
And really reversed the tide of this fight.
Yep.
Clearly, at this point, Freeman has momentum as he's in top mount. Matlock struggling to keep Freeman off of him, or rather close to him, I guess. They're tied up as we come to the end of round 2. Back and forth action in the amateur division. Third and final round next. Welcome back to the third round of this amateur bout at the Wheatley Vodka Rampage at Remington, presented by Tecate Light and HD MMA. Here in the third round, these two amateurs have been going at it extremely hard. Here in the third and final round, Mikhail Valentin, what should we expect from these guys?
I think what we should expect is exactly what we just saw. I think Deslond is very smart. I think Deslond's controlling the game on the ground. I think he's a better wrestler. And he's just doing exactly what he needs to do. He takes the fight down and he controls him, and honestly, he's up 2 rounds in my opinion, so he doesn't need to do anything else. No need to.
Well, you answered the question before I got to ask it. How are you going to score this fight so far? I also had the first 2 rounds in favor of Freeman, although the second round was a heck of a lot closer. Now we have Freeman on top, landing hard shots to the body. It's a question of how many of those Matlock can take before he drops his guard to protect his ribs. But look at him, working his way out again. These guys have a rock-solid wrestling and jiu-jitsu game.
Yep, very smart fighting by Freeman, but Matlock is doing a really good job as well. He continues to get out of all these positions. The problem is, as time ticks down, all he's doing is getting out of positions, and Freeman continues to control. So, to me, it's clear cut that he is getting dominated.
And there we had Freeman trying to go for another takedown, but it looks like he just didn't have enough gas left in the tank here at the end of the third round to pull it off like he was in the earlier rounds. Both these guys exhausted. These have been 3 brutal, non-stop rounds, both in stand-up and on the ground. Ryan Matlock out of the red corner is having his second amateur fight. Deslond Freeman making his amateur debut, but I have Freeman, like you said, ahead 2-0, and I have Freeman winning this round.
And that's the other interesting thing is that, like, if you really look at the exchanges, I think Matlock has landed much harder bombs, but I think he's had to slip him in. And Freeman continues to control the fight. What both of these guys do have is a lot of potential. I think they're both very solid. They both have a lot of ability at this, I guess, amateur stage. And I'm really excited to see, even after this fight, how far these guys will go.
Well, I think every fight fan here at Remington Park would like to see these guys inside the cage again.
Yep.
What a spectacular fight. I noticed that Matlock throws his jab with a lot more intention than Freeman does. Freeman is very good at doubling up on the jab, but he doesn't land with the same power that Matlock's does.
Yep. And then what's happening right now, to be honest, too, I thought Freeman was winning that round, but as of right now, in the last minute and a half, Matlock might be stealing this round. Look at that.
Oh, a check hook right as Freeman was running in, and again, give it to the chin on Freeman. Took a low knee there as we come to the end of round 3. We're going to the judges' scorecards next. Welcome back to the Wheatley Vodka Rampage at Remington Park in Oklahoma City, presented by Tecate Light. This 3-round amateur bout is going to the judges' scorecards. Let's set it up in the cage to the meticulous Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout proudly brought to you by Hustler Hollywood goes to the scorecards. Judge Michael Scott and Chris Ritter both scored the bout 30-27. Judge John Kennedy scores the bout 29-28. For your winner by unanimous decision, out of the blue corner, Deslond Freeman.
Deslond Freeman winning his amateur debut inside the cage. Pops up to 1-0 against a very game and solid fighter in Ryan Matlock. All of the HD MMA fans looking forward to seeing those two inside the cage again. We have a lot more great fights coming up here at Remington Park in Oklahoma City. Stay with us.